So this is Dennis Streeter from Decide Solutions. It's my pleasure to introduce Steve Fick today, who's with SolidWorks Corporation. And Steve is the technical territory manager that works with us in Michigan and Indiana. Some of you may have had the chance to meet Steve over the years that he's been working with us. He comes from the VAR channel before that. And we're excited to see what he's put together to help guide a lot of our customers that have the Workgroup PDM tool. And as you've probably heard, or you're going to hear more today about the transition to PDM standard, Steve's going to start giving us some information to help that transition happen easier for your organizations. And then we're going to have some offers at the end that we're going to roll up and wind up our session here today. It's only going to be about 15 minutes long, so not a lot of time. With that, I'll hand the session over to Steve. Steve, thanks a lot again for joining us and putting this together for us.
Yeah, thanks, Dennis. It's great to be working with your team. And as Dennis said, my name's Steve Fick. I've been helping out the territory for quite some time now, and really was excited to be a part of this initiative to ensure that our workgroup customers have a really good experience moving from Workgroup PDM to their next data management of solution of choice, because the reality is you've got a couple choices that you can make there. So let's dive into this. I want to kind of set the stage by just outlining what we're gonna cover today. The first thing is we're going to take a little bit of time and just make sure you understand what's changed with the product, what you can expect from a support standpoint and a strategy with Workgroup. At a high level, what's the alternative that we're providing as we phase out Workgroup? And then from there, we'll touch on what the plan looks like, right? So what are some of the things that you can engage in, you can expect to be a part of in order to help make your company make this a smooth transition for your company. And then, as Dennis said, we're going to talk about what the next step is after this webcast. What's the immediate thing that you can do next to help your company? So first off, the product changes. Most of you are on here because you've heard that we are tracking towards an end-of-life plan for Workgroup, and replacing that with what we call PDM standard. And so with that, let me start with the Workgroup piece and just start touching on what this is going to look like from an end-of-life strategy for Workgroup. If you look out over the next couple of years, what's going to happen is this. Most of you are aware that at the end of 2015, we released SolidWorks 2016. And SolidWorks 2016 included and includes Workgroup PDM, right? So it's a release that still includes it. We're going to follow that up as we normally do at the end of 2016 here. We will release SolidWorks 2017, and it also will continue to include Workgroup PDM. Now, SolidWorks 2018 will not. So SolidWorks 2018 will be the first release that will no longer include Workgroup PDM. Now, part of the reason that I want to lay this out is because support for that product, for Workgroup PDM, will continue until the end of calendar year 2018. Okay, so you can kind of get a sense of the two releases that will still include the installers that will still be available to install Workgroup PDM, and then support for the product will end at the end of calendar year 2018, right? So I share this with you, one, to help hopefully provide a little bit of clarity, two, to reassure you that, effectively, if you look at it, we've got we're looking at a runway of about 3 years, and so it's exciting that you guys are involved in this now, because at the end of the day, the product that we are introducing as its replacement is one that I think there's going to be a substantial amount of value for you. And speaking of which, that product is called PDM Standard. Okay, so PDM Standard is if you're not aware, it's really a best-in-class data management tool that is built on PDM Professional, or what used to be called Enterprise PDM. Many of you may have seen it. I would wager to say that most of you have all heard of Enterprise PDM. And so what we've done is we've taken that core architecture for that product and we've adapted it into a new product called PDM Standard that has functionality that aligns very closely with what you currently have with Workgroup PDM. This is a tool that we think is going to provide some quick adoption and value to you. One of the primary reasons is because of the just familiarity of its interface. It's built on the Windows Explorer UI. It offers some great capabilities like workflows, which allow you to map a business process to, along with all the core functionality like revision management and metadata management and whatnot. And it's included with SOLIDWORKS Professional and Premium. So just like now, if you have a SOLIDWORKS Pro license or a Premium license, you effectively already have PDM Standard. Okay. So those are at a high level some of the product changes. As I said, this announcement is this has been in the news for a while, but I think it's good just for us to at least lay the groundwork and see that you know, what's happening with Workgroup and what's it being replaced with. So let's take a few minutes now to talk through what the plan is that you can engage in with your company to begin to make this transition. Because the reality is this transition is going to require transitioning your data out of Workgroup into PDM Standard or PDM Professional, depending on which one you decide is the best fit. And so there's a certain level of just forethought that needs to be laid into this. So the first thing that we're providing, and we want you to take away from this, is what we're calling a Workgroup PDM questionnaire. And really this is to gather key information about your vault, about your current implementation. So this is going to be things like how many users and what are your license types, how big is your vault, what is the revision scheme that you've decided to implement, are you currently using life cycles, are you doing things with working copy? So just some fundamental questions that we need to begin to get information on to understand what your environment looks like. This really becomes the foundation for planning what your vault transition is going to look like as you work with the Decide team and their certified application engineers in this area. They can help. So the great thing about Decide is that they've even prior to us announcing, you know, this end-of-life plan for Workgroup and this new product, they've been doing this. They've got a great team in place that has helped many customers move from Workgroup PDM to PDM Professional historically. So they can help, and they can help with you filling out this questionnaire. If you're not sure how to grab some information off of it, feel free to give them a call. And this is going to be provided to all the attendees on the webcast after the webinar. Right, so this will be something that the Decide team is going to follow up with you on, provide you the worksheet, and allow you to start just gathering this key information that's going to be needed. So that's the first part of the plan going forward. The second part of this is allowing you guys to engage one-on-one with an application engineer. And what this is going to look like is basically you know, the first 30 minutes of this one-on-one session. This will be a live engagement with your team that happens is going to happen likely at one of the Desai offices, but the first 30 minutes is really going to be a process review. Right, so you'll bring the questionnaire in, the tech team will just review it with you and start to get a sense of, what does your environment look like? What are some of the things that are challenges you may have? What's going good? What's not going so great? And since we're making this transition, what improvement initiatives do you want to incorporate into your new data management strategy? All right. The next 30 minutes is going to be about just providing some education, demonstrating what PDM options you have. So actually showing you PDM standard, making sure you're very clear on what the capabilities are, how it's going to work within your potential environment, but also making sure that you're aware of what's available in PDM Professional. In the spirit of improvement and continuous improvement, many customers may use this as an opportunity to say, there's some value in us moving towards PDM Pro. The timing's right, and it provides some opportunities for us just to move forward with that. And so that's gonna be the second part of this, is just purely making sure that you're aware of your options, what they look like, and allowing you to ask some questions. And then the last 15 minutes of this one-on-one session is really going to be talking through what the project plan looks like, identifying needed actions that are maybe specific to your company. What does the timeline start to look like, both from your end as well as from a resource allocation standpoint from Desai as a partner. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this project plan in just a moment. But again, this is just an opportunity for your team to meet one-on-one with certified application engineer and really start the conversation around this. Okay. So the third part of the plan is, as I mentioned, the PDM, the actual project plan, and this is something that really we've created a template for. It provides some key milestones and actions, like making sure that a statement of work is written and a migration strategy is selected, because there are some different strategies that can be taken with the data. So making sure that's vetted out, making sure that a statement of work and a solution is chosen, right? So are we going to choose PDM Standard, or are we going to go with PDM Pro? What's the overarching statement of work for this project look like, and do we need to get additional stakeholders educated as well? So it's this templated approach that can be tailored to your company and what's been learned and understood throughout the process. Okay, so that's the third piece of it. We'll walk away with this plan that we can all agree to and start to execute on. All right, so that's the plan. Hopefully it's pretty logical. We're trying to make sure that we give you lots of opportunities to make sure that you're sharing information, sharing key concerns about your business, allowing you to ask lots and lots of questions, and then making sure that you're comfortable with what the plan looks like over the next over the lifespan of the project, so that when you get to the end of it, you're successfully transitioned from Workgroup to either PDM Standard or PDM Professional. Right. All right. So the last piece of this is the next steps, and Dennis is going to take a few minutes just to touch on what can you do now. What are the things that you can do immediately after this webcast to start the ball rolling. So Dennis.
Thanks, Steve. I like your presentation. I like the process. I'm a big advocate of doing your due diligence, and I think you've outlined a great plan to make that happen. Everybody, moving forward who's informed, you're going to make wise decisions for your company in that regard. So as far as that goes, next steps, as Steve mentioned, we're looking to start scheduling one-on-one meetings with the folks that want to dig into this deeper and begin making that plan. you don't necessarily have to be planning to do this tomorrow or next week or maybe even this year. Maybe you're going to plan more for the 2017, early 2018 timeline, but at least you're doing your due diligence and you're getting an idea of what you need to think about. So those meetings are going to be held at our locations based on where you're located as well. So we're going to try and fit a location that is convenient for you to attend. We're looking at some dates that are probably going to be held during the week of March 14th. Right now we're thinking about the 15th, 16th, 17th as potential dates to do this. As Steve mentioned, everybody who attends is going to get a copy of the questionnaire that he had on the screen for a moment there. So that'll give you a chance to begin looking it over. And if you have any questions regarding that questionnaire, what I'd ask you to do is either get in touch with your local business development manager, myself, or even put in a help desk ticket, and one of the folks on our team will be happy to walk through that questionnaire and answer any questions that you might have before the one-on-one meeting takes place. And again, as Steve also mentioned, each of these meetings are going to be done with a certified application engineer. So again, a lot of the folks that you know on our team, John, Royce, Darren, Ryan, Bryce, all those guys are certified in the PDM solutions, and they're going to be looking forward to meeting with you and talking about your goals and objectives, understanding a bit about how your work group implementation is set up today, and talk about the pros and the cons of which of our solutions are going to best meet your needs and the vision that you have going forward.